So this is day three of me trying to film this video that is ironically supposed to be about how I'm trying to deal with overthinking and perfectionism. Anyway, so 3 days ago I was writing my journal what I think might be causing my inconsistency with content creation and generally other things in my life. And I decided why not document it or share it in case other people can relate. I'm just going to share some key notes that I wrote in my journal about this whole thing. The first thing I would like to address is I think there was a time where certain mental health struggles like ADHD, OCD, and others became something like a trend. And so lately it feels very unrealistic to talk about certain signs you are seeing that might be linked to these things because it feels you are just joining the trend or you're making an excuse. And I'm mentioning this because I think this mindset makes it very easy to overlook certain signs or struggles you are going through that even if it ends up not being these things, they are still real, they are still valid, and being able to understand them helps you to figure things out. But anyway, so some of the things I evaluated and I'm thinking might be leading to my inconsistencies. One, my perfectionist mindset. I think this is something a lot of content creators struggle with, and it's really hard for me to accept good enough. I over criticize every tiny detail. I refilm, I re edit, I relearn. And as I'm doing now, I'm on day three of this one freaking video. But anyway, so when you end up finally posting the video or submitting that work, you realize that it was good enough to begin with, and people don't even notice the tiny little details you were stressing over from the beginning. And what makes this even harder for me is my cognitive style of learning, which is from research. I know there are some people that can memorize facts independently, and there are also some people that learn through systems thinking. So I learn through systems thinking. That is, I'm unable to understand things if I don't get how it fits into the bigger picture, if I don't get how A connects to B, what's the logic behind this, how everything is linked. And so it makes it really hard for me. And I think generally it's not a bad learning style, but as I'm growing, it's becoming more of a liability because I'm juggling more responsibilities and a lot of things, and it would be hard to make everything into one system where everything connects. But I'm unable to understand things if I don't make that mapping and linking and connection. So I'm really having a hard time with obsession with structure and flow. So, example, in vet school, I struggle to study when there's no pressure because I always feel the need to make this general system of what I've learned from my preclinical stage all the way to my clinical stage, and then summarize that system to understand how every new topic I'm learning fits into that system. And so, if I'm unable to make that connection, it's hard for me to learn. And I end up spending 50% of my time revising things I know over and over again. And so I make little progress. And I think this is also affecting my attention span because, ironically, I'm someone who hates repeating things, hates going over things over and over again. And I can't do without it. So I easily lose interest in the things I'm doing when I'm learning, when I'm filming, and I lose focus. So I end up thinking of something else or doing something else along the way. I lose interest, and then it becomes a cycle of no progress. And I think this is the same pattern that's affecting my content creation because I'm so obsessed with structure and flow, and I'm unable to bring myself to film a new video if I don't get how it fits into the system of what my content is supposed to present and how it links to my previous video. If I should make it a series, I should organize everything to make it understandable. Because with how I'm gearing my content, I think I'm going more towards versatility in terms of I want to do vet related content as well as share my opinions, lifestyle, personality, and everything. And so I'm always overthinking how I would create a structure and a flow that anyone who comes across my content is able to understand what I'm trying to do, which I don't know if it's bad, but it's quite overwhelming being so bent on that. And so That is what I think might be affecting my interest and consistency with content creation and generally other things in my life. So I'm obviously not just going to evaluate and realize these things and not try to find a solution. So for my own evaluation, what I'm experimenting on right now is for my perfectionism and obsession with structure and flow, I'm trying to set deadlines for everything, like personal deadlines, that if I'm unable to complete the tasks within that time span, I would have to accept what I ended up with, or I would lose the opportunity to do that thing until the next time. I think that is what I'm trying to do now to help. And also, I need to constantly remind myself to focus on what is the main goal. The main goal is an entire process that comes with various stages. But what I need to know is that you don't need 100% at stage one to move to stage two. You just need what is good enough to move from stage one to stage two. And so you need to constantly do what's good enough from one stage to another stage and eventually focus on reaching the main goal. And so that is the mindset I'm trying to achieve now. But obviously, it's easy to say, but there's no giving up in this house. So I'm going to keep trying. So I'm challenging myself. And the challenge was on the first day to film and post this video in the same hour without over editing or overthinking it. But here I am on day three, and I don't know if I would even put this video out as well because now I'm thinking it's so freaking long. Anyway, so that's the update, and I'm going to keep pushing. So hopefully, let's expect more consistency. So, yeah, bye.